here and click up for here and just match the colors. And then of course I have to close the path. I'm going to close it. Now I got to tackle this little guy right here. This is frustrating. I got to click and can't even see that. Driving me crazy. There we go. Sometimes drawing with a Wacom tablet is more frustrating. So there's his jacket. Done. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change the color to a brown. Let's see, browns are down here. They just taken the value down a bit. There's this brown jacket. And you might have to go in here and actually just kind of move this around and tweak it just a bit. So there's his jacket. Done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and I'm going to see, well, we got to draw all these little bits and pieces on here, all of those bits and pieces. We can draw that on the jacket layer if we have to. We can just reduce the transparency again of the jacket itself, so reduce that back down. And then I'm going to go in here and just draw. You'll notice that it's not one stroke, it's actually kind of like a sliver. So I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to get black going on. And I'm just going to draw a little kind of, go back up here, kind of draw like a little curvy wedge thing going on. Just like so. And you can drag it down because this is going to be, this bottom part's going to be hidden by the hands. See? On the hands layer, which is above the jacket layer. Imagine it like a deck of cards. If you got the ace of spades on top, the ace of spades is what you're going to see. If you throw a you know, king of hearts or on top of the ace of spades, you can't see the ace of spades anymore. So whatever is above each of these layers hides everything below. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to actually, oh yeah, by the way, if you double click on things you get this thing called isolation layer, which allows you just to mess with things individually. It's what's comes over from the flash side of things. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to I can reflect this again. I'm going to use my reflection tool and I'm going to maybe reflect it, copy it over to one side, go back over here, bring it in, mess with it, stretch it out a bit. There we go. So now I'm going to I got to get my buttons. Well, buttons are easy. That's just one circle. You can draw other circles all the way along, or you can just copy and paste them and do that like so. So now what we have is we got to get this little, his little jacket scene, piece of cake. We can actually use a rectangle for that, and it's just going to be a nice small one. So we're going to go in here and just draw a nice little small rectangle, and we're going to rotate it just a little bit just to mess with it. There we go. So once that's done, I'm going to go back here, turn the transparency back on. I'm going to turn it up to 100%. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so now we're rolling, and I'm just curious here. Back when I said about transparencies and making sure the layers are okay, the collar that we drew is now hidden because I drew over top of it. So what I have to make sure is I got to make sure these guys, and see, the only way I was able to find this is in my preview mode. See, there's my guys right there. You can see all hidden stuff, everything that you've drawn in your preview mode, or your outline mode, I'm sorry. So you get Command Y to go to outline, Command Y to go to preview. So you can flip back and forth real fast. Okay, so now we got this stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here to range, if I can find it. The shortcut, just so you know, is Shift Command, and you can bring this stuff to front. There it is, Object. There you go. Or you can send to back. So I'm Shift Command and right bracket brings to front. Shift Command left bracket sends to back. So you can kind of do that. And actually, it's under Object. And blah blah, arrange, bring forward, send backwards, etc., etc. It's all right here under arrange. So we got that. So now we got our collar going on. So now what we got to do, and this is really quick, all we have to do now is draw the blah blah, the hands and the pants and the feet. Piece of cake. So I'm going to lock this. I'm going to actually hide it so I can see what's going on. Well, the hands are easy. Those are just circles. So we're going to go in here and I'm going to hold down my Command Option, draw a circle. And I'm going to use my eyedropper sample tool to sample the same skin color I used from his face. So now we got a nice hand, and you may have to squish these or make them bigger or larger depending on what you have to do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, because the actual hand, the mitten, the meat of his hand is not a perfect circle, and I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to draw another circle like so. This guy here, we have to put a stroke on him, because you see there's a black outline around. So I just go to my my stroke, I'm going to double click on that, bring it up, get some black going on, beauty. So now what we do is we select both of these, and again use the reflection tool, go to my, oops, that smudge, get the reflection tool going on, and I'm going to option click right around here somewhere, copy it, and just move it into place. Alright, so now we got that done. So I turn on the jacket, so that's what we see so far. So now all we have to do is just draw the pants. Pants themselves, we can actually have the shoes in this layer if we want to. So pants are easy. You're just going to draw, honestly, looks like, yeah, I'd use the pen tool because it's a rectangle, but the rectangle is it's not a perfect rectangle. So you're going to draw on the pants layer, behind the pants, and behind the shoes. So just kind of drag it down, bonk, bonk. There you go. And we're going to get rid of that stroke, and we're going to use the same blue. Well, I'm going to cancel that because I got to get up and sample that blue. Well, we don't have to use the same blue as the toque. We can use a different blue. It's totally up to you. Maybe got some things like so. So now what we want to draw is the shoes, and we're done. And so I got to go back here, and I'm going to actually bring my opacity down a bit. And the shoes themselves, you could draw one shoe and reflect it, or you can just draw one whole thing. It depends if you want to animate this or not. I'm going to draw one shoe and reflect it, so I'm going to start right about here, and I'm going to kind of drag up with my pen tool and drag over like so, and I'm going to keep it blue so I can just differentiate between the two. And I'm going to rotate it like that. Maybe go in here and tweak it a bit, maybe add a control point. And I'm in isolation mode, but it's okay. You don't have to be. Okay. Get out of isolation mode here. So here's my shoe. I'm going to stretch it a bit. Let's make it a little bit bigger so it overlaps. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my reflection tool, option, click, copy. Now, notice how they're not the same, so I got to go back over on this side. I'm going to maybe mess with this one a bit, make it a little bit bigger so it overlaps. Make it a bit bigger like so. So now we got these two shoes like so. And of course I'm going to select both of them, shift click to select both at once, double click in here, make it black, boom, and we're done. And there is your South Park character. So when I turn off my actual trace, that's what I see. When I go to my outline mode, that's what I see. And this is what I'm going to be checking. I'm going to be looking in the outline mode, checking all this stuff to make sure it is all the paths are closed, everything lines up pretty much, etc., etc. And that's it. That is the assignment for today. Cool, cool. Follow along if you wish, and I'll be around to give guidance and stuff. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.